it'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
All right, everybody, we're getting ready to start with our media availability with Jimmie Johnson. And I think we've got audio everywhere now. We're getting ready to start with Jimmie's Friday media availability, but first Jimmie is going to do 2 drawings for his foundation.
Yep, the last drawing for the helmet, and Claire, it was St. Jude's you selected, the fan selected. So St. Jude's will go on the helmet from last week's draw for Claire B. Lang, and then I'll draw these 2 out of here. And once again, this is the media here, but once again, thank you to everyone for supporting this idea with the helmet. It's been really amazing how much support it's received and how many fans and media members have written in. And I know that all these foundations really appreciate it too, so thank you. The first one is Winston Kelly, MRN Radio. See, the charity is the Classroom Central. Let's see, Classroom Central levels the academy playing field for over 80,000 students in the Charlotte region. Many of these students show up on the first day of school empty-handed, but because of the Classroom Central, their teachers are able to provide them with all the basic material needs for learning. So thank you, Winston, and congratulations. And then the fan. The fan is Susan Engel. Charity name is Caring Bridge. A co-worker's grandson recently had a rare brain tumor and had to go from Indianapolis to Phoenix for life-saving surgery. Michael's family posted regular updates so everyone stayed informed without having them to take away time from Michael making tons of phone calls. It was such a blessing to have families touched by illness. I guess it doesn't exactly describe. Let's see, website that supports and connects loved ones in critical illnesses and times. So thank you, Susan Engel. All right, now we're back down to business.
Questions for Jimmie? Please raise your hand. State your name and affiliation as a courtesy. We'll go David, then Wolfgang.
David Newton, ESPN.com. Jimmie, a lot of people talked last year when y'all signed Dale Jr. about the combination of you and Jeff and Dale Jr. What do you think of this combo with Tony and Ryan Newman?
I think that you have 2 very hard-nosed territorial drivers that are smart and can earn points. I think that Ryan at times has been one of the hardest guys to pass, and Stewart may be a little easier to pass from time to time, but you've made him mad and you've got something coming. So, and I'd say that with all the respect in the world to both of them, and trying to make light of it all. But I think those 2 together will do exactly what that team needs. Ryan's great at qualifying. They're obviously going to need that. They're both great at points racing, and hopefully, as now teammates in a sense. Hopefully they're able to make it through all the weather issues, the first 5 races, and get those 2 cars where they need to be. But I think it was a wise move on Tony's behalf. Very stable environment over there, very stable group of drivers. You have Matt Borland and Ryan potentially back together, if not back together. So I think they're making smart decisions.
Where do you rank that group now? Everybody wants to rank these days. Where do you rank that combo compared to you guys, what they got at Roush?
Man, it's so hard to tell, especially without seeing them on track. And there's so much time between now and really California Speedway, or maybe a better mark would be between now and the Vegas, California test sessions that come along. Daytona's Daytona, and it's not really an indicator of what the season's going to be, but at that point I think we can start forming opinions. Haas has been a great organization that we know the engines and chassis and bodies that they have on their cars, and just putting the rest of those pieces together and getting the chemistry right inside the team. And both drivers have obligations through this year to finish up strongly, plus Haas. Then all those guys need to somehow gel in our short off season and come together and be ready. So they have a lot of work ahead of themselves, but I think you've got professionals across the board over there, and they'll do a good job.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Monser from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. Jimmie, you had a race earlier at Michigan International Speedway, I think in June. approaching now the qualifying later on, how identical, or is there any identical to your car setup-wise?
Michigan started some new ideas in our minds when we came here a couple months ago. The practices that we had kind of validated the technology that we were bringing in the car setup. We had a great qualifying, I think it was rained out actually, but a very fast and qualifying practice. In the race, I think we led the most laps and ended up 10th or 12th or something because of a fuel strategy at the end. I can't exactly remember, but we fought for the win all day long. And I really feel since then we have improved our car, our setup that we started with here. And coming back, I feel very strong about our performance. I think that the 17, I think the 99, at the end of the race, I really remember chasing the 17. And I know there's a couple other guys, but this is a great track for Matt. And as I've traveled here and thought about what the race is going to look like and be like, for whatever reason, I see that 17 up there, and I know we're going to be dealing with them.
Randy Permanent Speed Channel, DirecTV Hot Pass, Jimmy. Given the fact of what Kyle Busch has done this year and the streak that he's on with 14 to go, he's won 8. Tony still has not even won this year. Tony, obviously one of the best drivers we've had in the modern era. Can you give us your honest assessment of what Kyle Busch has done this year, whether it be the Sprint Cup Series, Nationwide, Truck Series? From a wheelman's perspective, he obviously looks like this could continue for quite some time. You'll have to battle him for championships. What do you think of him as a driver and how he's matured, perhaps on and off the racetrack?
I think it's an amazing story, what he's done. I'd much rather it be myself with the 8 wins and them asking Kyle about what we're up to. So the competitive spirit inside of me doesn't like to see what he's doing. But I respect what he's doing. I've worked with him as a teammate and have always known that he's a special talent. And once, I told him a couple years ago, I said, once you figure out how to win, you're not going to stop. But you got to stop knocking the right side off your cars and crashing in practice and taking unnecessary risks. And he's figured that out this year, and he's been on fire. And I feel the same way for a championship for him. Once he understands how to win a championship, he's going to be tough to beat each and every year. And chemistry means so much. You look at what he's done at Gibbs with his group of guys. Denny and Tony are driving the same equipment. What's the difference? And we see that at Hendrick Motorsports, where you have 4 cars and 4 guys running in different spots on the point standings and throughout the race. So chemistry is everything, and he has hit the perfect combination. And once you have it, you got to recognize it and then figure out how to maintain it. And there's so many new challenges that come along week to week, year to year. And Kyle is going into new territory for himself right now and trying to figure out, how do I hold on to this? How do I keep this through the end of the regular season and into the chase and so forth and so on? And it's a tough thing to do. It really is, but he's matured a ton, and he's doing a damn good job.